For someone who doesn't have that previous experience, Linked provides everything that you could possibly need to start your business.
Hey everyone, it's Jake Randolph with Linked Permanent Jewelry Training. Today I'm very honored to have one of our students on here, Cassidy. And so Cassidy, if you could briefly introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your business.
Yeah, so my name's Cassidy, obviously. I'm from small town Shelbyville, Illinois. I'm only 22 years old, and this is going to be my second business. Currently, I own Fab Formals, which is like prom, homecoming, tux formals. I do wedding tuxes too. But I just wanted to bring something new to my business because it's a very seasonal business.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted something that I was going to be able to do in the off season when times got slow, or even during in season. I stumbled upon Linked, and I thought that permanent jewelry would go absolutely great with what I've already got going on. So that's a little bit about me and what I'm already doing. So
Wow, 22 years old and already your second business. I'm a little bit jealous because when I was 22, I was graduating college with a degree that I never used, and so the fact that you're starting your second business, like hats off to you, that's amazing. So let's talk about permanent jewelry. So how long have you been doing that? I know you recently took our training. Have you started taking clientship for that?
yeah, so I have not yet started taking clients. This week is going to be my first week with clients. I just got my machine last Monday, and I had to wait a couple of days to actually get my hands on it and get into it. I have practiced on some of my family members, my boyfriend, some of his friends, just to do some practice rounds, and everything has gone great so far. It's all gone off without a hitch, and I'm really excited to start bringing in clients and getting that done. I stumbled upon you guys. I just had heard about permanent jewelry and I looked it up, and turns out the first video that popped up was the video of you and Sarah announcing we're launching Linked, and I was like, well, I'm just going to jump in because we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, the power of YouTube.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad you did find us. I'm curious. So, like, I got this little bracelet and I've been wearing it for like 3 months now. Did your boyfriend take his off or is he still wearing it?
Nope, he's still wearing it. He wears it with his watch and he loves it. I mean, it's very gender neutral. It's not something that is womanly. When you get just those chains or just the
Mm-hmm.
links, they look very nice and they go with everything very well. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, can you kind of talk people through, how your experience was with the training? Because you did our online course. So
Yeah.
how were those videos? Did you find them helpful, or can you kind of go into that?
They were super helpful. I know that we also have the Facebook group that everybody posts into for like troubleshooting questions, stuff like that. But I watched all the videos first day they came out. Actually, substitute teach on the side. When the kids were at lunch, I was watching the trainings. When they were
Nice.
at recess, I was watching the trainings. I just wanted to dive right in and see what it was all about. And then when I got my machine, I went through those trainings again, kind of step by step as I was setting it up. And it was super helpful. So I got to do the training before I even had my machine, which was a nice little precursor to what was going to come in it. I mean, I kind of already knew what was going to come in it, but it's like when you know what the functions are actually going to do is so different. So I was super excited to go through that. All the content has been great, especially when you're starting a business. It's the aesthetic of your business that people want to see. They want to know what it's going to look like. And when you have a good social media presence and all of that good content and you kind of know the processes of it, it's so much easier. I know from my personal experience, like opening my business at 18 years old, I didn't really know where to start or what to do with my processes. And I have that previous experience. But I think for someone who doesn't have that previous experience, Linked provides everything that you could possibly need to start your business.
That's great to hear. And I know you mentioned content. Have you been using any of our, marketing materials?
Yes, I have. So when I built my website, it was really helpful to have photos that I could already add in there that I didn't have to pull from Pinterest, but I
Mm-hmm.
knew that I had permission to use. So that was super helpful. And as I go, I'll probably build my own photos as well. But it's just nice to have the extra content when you run out and you're like, oh, shoot, I don't have a photo to post right now. So that's nice. Or to launch my business, to announce that, hey, this is coming. These are what they could look like, because obviously you guys are posting content of what your supplies is, and I'm ordering from your supplies.
Mm-hmm.
So people kind of already know what my products are going to look like, what my bracelets, anklets, and necklaces are going to look like.
That's awesome because I mean I've worked with a lot of business owners with my marketing agency, and I know that's always one of the biggest struggles is trying to come up with content, especially when you're starting out because you don't have any content. And
Hmm.
so being able to like quickly, that was always my goal, was to have our students be able to quickly post. You've even got the copy and paste templates that we have for you guys, and so that way it just makes social media and getting clients easy.
Yeah, for sure.
So speaking of getting clients, like you said, you're going to start taking clients next week or this week. So have you had any trouble getting clients, or how many do you have booked right now?
Not really. I have not. I don't have any personally booked yet. I was actually working on my appointments last night, but I've been sharing a lot on my current business page, and I've had a lot of people reach out to me. When is this going to be available? When am I going to be able to book an appointment? And I wanted to create that urgency
Mm-hmm.
by started marketing last week when I got my machine because I wanted to make sure my machine came in, everything went on without a hitch. I wanted to make sure it was going to be here on time. I waited until I actually had my hands on the machine, and so I've announced that permanent jewelry is coming and that appointments are going to be available, and I actually plan to launch my appointment system today. And so I don't have any appointments yet, but I'm super excited to see what it will be because so many people, like everybody that I've talked to already, they're so excited, they're so eager to get it. So, and it's nice too because I've got sisters and I've done their permanent jewelry already, and they're showing it off and their friends are contacting me and they're excited about it. So yeah.
That's awesome. I'd love to have like a 3 month follow up call, and
Yeah.
you could be like, well, I made as much money in 3 months in permanent jewelry as I did in my whole other business
Yeah.
all year.
Yeah. Yep, for sure. Well, the big thing for me was, I mean, I just graduated college this past semester with my associate's degree, and I opened my business at 18 years old. So I started with no credit line, no
Hmm.
credit history, 18 years old with $600 in my pocket, and I just built it to what it could be. Well, when you get in that situation, then there's credit cards and there's inventory and all of that stuff. And so this is my big thing where permanent jewelry has the profit margin that you don't have to be in massive amounts of debt and keep massive
Right.
amounts of inventory to profit. It's a very profitable business, and I think that it's going to go really well, and I'm really excited. So,
Yeah, and I'm excited for you. So let's talk about the support side of things because I know that there's a lot of trainings out there that are quote cheaper, but
yeah.
based on the logistics, there's no way to provide the type of quality support that I think we provide. And so, can you kind of go into like what you've seen from that side of things?
Yeah, so when I actually found Linked, I was like, okay, are there other permanent jewelry trainings out there? Like, I know that you guys are very new and you're one of the first. And so I did some research. I had some other calls with other permanent jewelry trainings, but I just loved the aesthetic and I loved the energy, the environment that you and Sarah gave off. There was just something about it that made me feel so welcomed. I reached out via email and I was like, hey, I'm interested in this. I got all the information. And at first, I was really scared to pull the trigger. I mean, but at the same time, I thought, okay, I know that every business is an investment. If anybody
Hmm.
knows, it's me. So I made my investment, and then I found out that there was actually a girl one town over that just started doing permanent jewelry, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's going to be a conflict, blah blah blah. I actually emailed Sarah, and I was like, I think that there's going to be a conflict of interest, and I'm not going to be able to do this. And then I thought about it for the weekend, and I'm like, other people do businesses everywhere. I mean,
Oh yeah.
McDonald's is an Excel. So, like, you know what I mean? So I'm like, I know that I just have to present myself in the way that I want to be presentative, the way that I want to run my business. And so I emailed her back and I said, never mind, we're doing this. So that
Yeah.
was a big thing. And I had done some research, but I liked Linked and I liked the aesthetic and I liked the fact that I could do it online. I have had questions. I've reached out via email. I've posted in the Facebook group and I've done a lot of research in the Facebook group, which is really helpful because it's just a great community of all the other people who are starting their businesses through Linked, and we can just learn from each other. It's a great positive community and I love it.
Yeah, and that was always one of my goals, is to create a great community because, with my other business, I had a lot of beauty business owners. And so I wanted to bring them over, and that way they can share their experience because there's going to be, some people who have never even owned a business. And so, having that mentorship of hundreds of other, beauty business owners, or like yourself, business owners, where you're not necessarily in the beauty industry, but you already know how to do a lot of this stuff, and you can help out other students too if they have questions.
Yeah, and it's so nice too because the people in the group, they're not your competition. They're there to help you, they're there to
Hmm.
build. I know that I've been in network marketing before, and sometimes that's difficult because you have that community, you have that positive community where people want to help, but at the same time, they're your competition. So that's the nice thing about Linked is there are people from all over the United States. And so they're not necessarily your competition or they're not necessarily someone underneath you. We're all just our own businesses, which is really nice.
Yeah, and just to clarify, we are not network marketing.
No, no, yeah.
I've had a couple of people ask me that. I was like, I don't know why people think that. It's not network marketing.
Exactly.
All right, so I really appreciate you coming on here and sharing your experience. And so, last question: if someone's on the fence right now and they're trying to decide, whether they should one start a permanent jewelry company or two, come on and join us at Linked, what would you tell them?
I'd say go for it. I mean, it might be scary to take that leap and it may seem like a lot of money at first, but really it's not from what you're going to profit off of. It takes money to make money, and you're jumping into a business, whether you'd have to buy inventory or your machine somewhere else. Link is the perfect place to purchase all of those things all in one starter pack, and you get all of these perks with it, with the training, and to be able to ask the questions you need to that may not even be in the training or may come up along the way. And it's a great company to go through because it's always evolving, and that's what I love about it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, and I really appreciate those kind words. Best of luck to you, and I know you're going to crush it. But like I said, I want to see, like, we're going to do a 3-month video, and follow up with this and see, how successful you've really been. Because, like, I mean, I can tell just from talking with you, you're an entrepreneur at heart, and you're really going to, succeed in this. And so I appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for having me, Jake. I really appreciate it.
Of course.